Hi everyone, this is Missgingerdots here, and tonight I am here to share with you a card that I made with the Artfully sent Cricut cartridge. I made this card using one of my favorite paper packets out of the new idea book, Seaside. Everybody knows that Missgingerdots loves the beach, so I made a card that is centered around the beach. This card is a thank you card that I made for a friend that says, "Beach days are the best days." The outside of the card is kind of cute, but I think the most impressive part of the card is the inside, which is the pop-up, which this is what our wonderful Artfully sent Cricut cartridge does for us. So you've got kind of a fun little card on the outside, and voila, when you open it up, you have a fun thank you pop-up card. And tonight I'm going to share with you on how you can make this card. So let me just kind of put this to the side. I'm going to show you quickly how to do the front of the card. What I have done, believe it or not, I actually cut the outside of the card using our new cartridge, and it will show you, it's on page 9 of the how-to book, and this is a pop-up card, so this is the piece that I cut right here. And the great thing about this cartridge is it will tell you the size to cut it. So I cut it 5 inches, and this is, it's just a plain card. The card, when folded, will be a 5x7 card. Now if you want to take a peek at the front of my card, I used glacier paper, but it may look, if you compare, there's a little bit of a difference. When I was making this card, I thought the glacier was pretty, but I wanted it to pop a little bit more, so I did a little bit of painting with our ink pad. So I took the glacier ink pad. This is a very fun technique to add just a little bit of interest to your card. The glacier ink pad, glacier paper, open it up, turn it upside down, and I'm actually going to paint with this ink pad. I'm going to start on the outside coming in, and I'm just going to give this card a little bit of texture. So like this, here we go. And I'm just kind of painting the background of the card. What this does is just kind of takes a flat color and gives it a little bit of pop. Gives it a little bit of distressing and just adds a little bit of interest. So I did that. I'm going to close that and kind of put that out of the way. I'm going to take my messy paper, throw it to the side, and now we're going to decorate the front of the card. What I want to do is I'm going to actually take this piece and I'm going to tear it. Our paper is white core, so when you tear the paper, you're going to get a little bit of a white core, and I like that look. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a beachy look, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and take my glue and glue this down. I'm using our Bonding Memories glue, which I absolutely love. The thing that I like best about this glue is when it is blue like it is now, it's temporary. I'm famous for putting something down crooked, and when I put it down and it's blue and it say it's crooked, I can peel it up. It's temporary. But when it dries clear, paper to paper, it becomes permanent. So, and it will hold really well. It doesn't wrinkle your paper. It's just a really fun, nice paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then what I have done is I've cut a bunch of banners. You can see them over here. And I'm going to use one of each style. I'm going to use one of the circular banners and one of the triangular banners. And instead of using the side that I cut, I'm going to use the back side just because it's going to show on this design a little bit better. And I kind of wanted one of each. Actually, I'm going to do this one over here. The other thing that I didn't mention with this glue, it is my favorite adhesive to use. A lot of people tend to want to streak it. That is, I think, a normal reaction. But if you dab it, for some reason it holds better. So I always say, if you take one of my classes, dab, dab, dab. Dab this glue and it will hold. It won't wrinkle your paper. It's very, very good. Safe for your photographs, if you're scrapbooking. Just absolutely love it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Then, if you have purchased this cartridge, or if you're going to buy it, one of the nice things is that it comes with 3 stamp sets, and this is one of them. And we are going to use this design right here for the front of our card. Our designs, a lot of our stamp designs are Cricut compatible, and it will tell you on the outside of the stamp set. Let's see if I can find it. It'll tell you right here, Artfully Sent. And the nice thing, I don't know if you can see this, but it'll tell you it's on page 40, and you can cut it 1 3/4. So if you turn over to page 40 in your book, you can see there's the design right there, and it tells you to cut it 1 3/4, and when you do, the image will stamp perfectly on the paper. So that's what I've done. I cut this Colonial White cardstock 1 3/4, and I'm going to grab my stamp, which I've already put on my clear block. And the paper that I'm working with is Glacier, but the Glacier ink's a little bit light. I did Glacier on Glacier here to kind of make it pop, but I wanted my words and my design to pop a little bit more, so I went a shade deeper and used Lagoon. And I'm just going to ink my stamp. And the nice thing about this is you can see through. I'm going to center this stamp. Come straight down, stamp it, and come up, and voila, look at there, perfect. And then I'm going to take, and this stamp set is a different stamp set. This actually came from the Seaside Workshop on the Go. I absolutely love this stamp. You can see that I've used it a lot. And I'm going to stamp for my sentiment something that says, beach days are the best days. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. And you can see, again, exactly where you're stamping, and you've got a great image. And to make it pop a little bit more, I'm going to take a sponge dabber. I'm going to get a little bit of ink around it, and I'm just going to ink the edges. Now, on this Colonial White that I'm sponging right now, I cut 1 3/4 inches. Well, I wanted to layer this on some blue paper. So what I did was I cut the same design, but I cut it 1/4 inch bigger at 2 inches. So this is going to fit perfectly, and I have a nice mat, and I did not have to freehand that. That just was so simple, fast, and easy. Just to save time, I'm going to play like I'm Martha Stewart here, and I went ahead and did this ahead of time. And what I am using is our dimensional tape to add dimension in between to make this design pop. So I have the tape already on here. I'm just going to peel it off, and I'm going to stick it down right here. Just simple, fast, and easy. Then, going back to the original design in our book, I think I was on page 4. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, this is the card that we're working with. And the inside of the card, to keep everything on scale, it tells you to cut it 5 inches. This, for the front of the card, I wanted the bicycle, 5 inches is this size, and that's a little bit too big. So I went ahead and cut it at 3 inches, because I just wanted something that looked a little bit beachy. I wanted a beach cruiser, so I cut it at 3 inches, and I cut it out of Pixie paper. Pixie is the color, and I'm just going to glue that down right there. And voila. Okay, so we've got that, and then I want to add just give it a little bit something else. So I want to add a few charms, which I've probably covered up over here. These are our Seaside embellishments. Actually, there's more that come with it. I've already used several of them, but I just wanted a couple little shells, so I'm just going to stick along here on the bottom of the paper. And I have the front of my card already made. So now that that's made, we're going to move on and go to the inside of the card, which is kind of the magical part right here. Now, if you look at the Cricut book, you can see right here the pop-up. This is the piece for the inside. Again, I cut it at 5 inches. And I don't know if you can see it there, but when you cut it out, it says thank you, and it looks just like this. It is designed to go on the inside right here like that. Now when I was designing the card, I thought, well, I'm thinking beach. I didn't really want a white background. So what I did was I took a piece of background and texture paper and I cut another one of this template at 5 inches, the exact same thing. But I cut it out of this blue paper, the background and texture paper, polka dot on one side and blue. But I only wanted the top part of my card to be blue. So you can see if I lay this right over here, this would be cut exactly. And I cut this piece away. So I'm going to use only the top part, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this on the inside of my card. Again, using our wonderful Bonding Memories glue and just dabbing it all the way around the edges so it'll hold really nicely, especially around where you're going to crease it. Oh, and let me talk about this a little bit. When you cut it, it's going to be flat, and it's all about the fold. So what I do is I fold, you can't see it here, but the cartridge cuts little niches, I guess, on each side, so it'll tell you where to fold it. I scored the lines all the way across, but then when I folded it in, kind of folded it like that, so it's like a regular card, opened it up, these slits were already here, but I popped this piece that way, so it's going to fold kind of like that. So that's how you make your pop-up. And what I'm doing is just covering the top half of this card, just to give it some color. And I'm not going to worry if my bottoms line up, because I'm going for a beachy look. So, see, this is not going to go all the way to the end, and that's okay. I purposely did that. Go ahead and crease it real well. Okay, so that's on there nice. See how nice that glue takes it, and it does not wrinkle the paper. But we are going to use, I want a little fence here. And what I used for the fence is our zip strip. The zip strip comes on the top of our 12 by 12 paper packets, and they come in different designs. One side you have a design, and on the other side it'll tell you the name of the paper pack. Like I'm using My Reflection Seaside paper packet, and it tells you all the colors that coordinate with this paper packet. Colonial White, which we're using, Desert Sand, which we're using, Glacier, Lagoon, Pear, Sorbet. So that's just kind of a fun thing. A lot of people don't really realize this is on our paper. These make great borders for cards and scrapbook pages and all of your projects. So now what I'm going to do is just take this, and I'm going to cut this the appropriate length, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the bottom of my card. Snap. Snap. It would have been easier to do this with my paper cutter, but just kind of wanted to show you how you can throw this together quickly. All right, now that I have that done, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue, and I'm going to go ahead and just put that down. May have to give it a haircut here in a second. That's okay. We can do it. And see how that covers up that edge? I thought it would be better to have it a little bit short than have it hanging onto that white part. I wanted the white part to be nice and clean, or the bottom part. Okay, now that I've got that lined up, I'm just going to go back and see that actually looks pretty good. I don't think I need a little bit of a haircut here. A little trim. And there we go. So we've got that part done. The next thing that I'm going to do is to add a banner. And again, when I always think of banners and bicycles and fun stuff. But when I did this, when I originally was designing it, that looked good, but it looked a little bit plain to me. So I went ahead and took our marker and I outlined it. And it just, you see the difference between the two? It's just a little tip. It just makes it pop. So I like, that's kind of my signature thing, or doing doodles and lines. So I had done that up ahead. So I'm going to glue that down. And then I have a little palm tree. This actually did not come from the Artfully Sent cartridge. This actually came from our Cricut art booking cartridge. But I remembered that we had a palm tree, and I just thought that this card needed a palm tree, so I went ahead and cut it using the art booking cartridge. I cut it twice, once in brown and once in green, and then I paper pierced it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tree down. And then I'm going to use some background words. This, again, is off of a zip strip. This was like the fence, but it was all words. Things like ocean, breeze, together, sunshine, memories, treasures. And see the back zip strip? What I did was I just kind of cut them apart and angled the edge. That look is kind of big right now. So I'm going to just figure out where I want to put these. I think I like it that way. Maybe I'll do memories top. There we go. And I'm going to glue this down. Now this would not be a card that I would make 50 of. This would be a card that I would send to somebody special, or, you know, for a birthday. It's a little bit time consuming, but certainly a lot of fun to make. And it's really fun to see the reaction on the other side. Okay, so kind of got the background going. I have to do my signature thing, which are my doodle lines. Again, do not get too, you don't want this to be perfect. Everybody's scared to do these wiggly lines, but really that's all it is you're just drawing a line, and it's okay to be wiggly. It's okay to go off the paper. It's supposed to be quick, easy, fun, and just make sure this line pop. I'm going to go ahead and double this one. Make two. I'm having them sometimes kiss in the middle, sometimes not. And then if you would like, you can go back and do some little doodles. And see, it's just adding a little bit of something extra to your card, so it's not just flat. You're going from flat to fancy. Okay, so we've got that done. The next thing is going to be to add the bicycle. Bicycle is going, is plain. And I thought, okay, there's the one piece, and then you've got like the little basket that goes on it. But to me, that looked a little bit flat. So what I did was take the pen, I did this up ahead of time, I colored the wheels black, I outlined it. I'm a nut for YOLO. I love to YOLO board, I love the YOLO bike, so I wrote YOLO on it. And you can see the difference that it makes. And I'm going to go ahead and glue my flowers right there. And I'm going to make a brown seat just to make it pop a little bit. So I cut a second bite in brown, and I'm just cutting the seat off of it. Glue that on, and see, that just adds a little bit something extra to it, a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to glue this right here. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to glue it right here on this part. And I'm going to let that dry, and you can see that's the pop-up part. So then when it folds down, it's going to be like that and go up. Then what you're going to do is take this piece and glue it to the outside of the card that we made. And we are almost done. You don't want to be stingy with your glue on this part. You want to kind of put a lot, especially around the edges and around the inside, so it'll hold really, really well. Start with the top, and then I forgot there, I'm going to have to wipe that off because that's already cut out the thank you, but that'll be okay. And we're going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go back and add my finishing touches, which will be some sparkles, and I'll do my doodles on the bottom. Let me show you my finished card. I've got some bows here that I put. I put a bow on the bike, I put some sparkles on the bike, I did some doodles at the bottom, and I added some sparkles in between the banners just to kind of make it pop. So there you go, kind of a fun card. I hope you enjoyed it tonight. Oops, I got a bow that's supposed to go on the other card. Again, simple, fast, fun. I'm having so much fun with this cartridge. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon. Thank you.